Taking in enough protein daily can be very difficult, even though it's essential for building muscle and improving your body composition. While carbs and fats are abundant in our overly processed diets, protein is a much more difficult macronutrient to get enough of, especially because foods that are high in protein and lower in carbs and fats are generally less palatable than foods that are higher in fats and carbs but lower in protein. Take ice cream as an example and compare that to chicken breast. On top of all that, protein happens to be very filling, further increasing the difficulty of taking in the recommended 0.7 grams of protein per pound of body weight. So today I want to give you guys a list of the best foods that'll easily help you add over 100 grams of protein to your diet with minimal prep time and work. And first, we have to start with egg whites. Part of the reason why egg whites are so easy is because you can simply take your carton of egg whites straight out of the fridge, pour them directly onto a frying pan, and have them cooked in under 5 minutes. A typical egg white that's separated from the yolk will contain about 4 grams of protein with basically no carbs or fats. So if you wanted to get, let's say, 20 grams of protein, you would have to break apart 5 eggs and separate the yolk from the egg white 5 times. For some people, that could be a pain, which is why having a carton of egg whites in your fridge is one of the key strategies I recommend to ensure that you can always quickly add additional protein to your daily total. Liquid egg whites typically contain 5 grams of protein for every 3 tablespoon serving. 1 cup of egg whites will contain 26 grams of protein. So by having a cup and a half of egg whites, you can essentially take in 40 grams of protein very quickly and very easily. Another excellent source is canned fish, like tuna. Just 1 can of tuna will contain about 25 grams of protein. One of the best things about tuna is that you can take it with you anywhere, and you can easily eat it anywhere to add protein to your daily total. To make it even easier and more palatable, you might decide to go with flavored tuna packets instead. When you're ready to eat, all you have to do is open one of these pouches up and scoop out the flavored tuna with a fork. Flavors like sweet and spicy tuna truly taste great while containing only about 4 grams of combined fats and carbs for 17 grams of protein. 2 of these tuna packets throughout the day would add on 34 grams of protein, and they're really easy to eat because of convenience and the great taste. Another food that is actually considered a supplement, but it'll make it much easier to meet your daily protein target, is of course protein powder. The 2 most common types of protein powders are whey protein and casein. Both of these are dairy-based protein sources, and even though casein is a more favorable meal replacement since it has a slower digestion rate, it can cause digestion issues compared to whey. Whey protein, on the other hand, will digest faster, and that's why many people will drink whey protein directly after their workout. There's also a plethora of other protein powders, including egg protein, beef protein, pea protein, and rice protein, just to name a few, and all of these can help you meet your daily protein needs. You can increase your protein count even further by having your protein shake with skim milk instead of water. If you're trying to gain weight or bulk up, you can also add natural peanut butter or dried peanut powder to add more protein while making your protein shake taste even better. After doing these things, a simple protein shake can easily add 40 or more grams of protein to your diet on a daily basis. To be fair, protein powder is probably the easiest way to add protein to your diet. You can even take foods that are high in carbs like pancakes or waffles and replace some of the ingredients with protein powder. These kinds of recipes can be found online and can help turn many of your high carb meals into high protein meals. However, keep in mind that you don't want to abuse this little protein cheat code. You still want the vast majority of your meals to be made up of real food because of the micronutrients that come with eating a variety of real foods. But having a protein shake after your workout or adding it into one random meal throughout the day can make getting enough protein much easier. You'll also want to replace your high carb and high fat snacks for high protein snacks. One perfect example of this is beef jerky. Just 1 ounce of Jack Link's original beef jerky contains 12 grams of protein and only 4 to 5 grams of carbs per serving. If you buy the smaller package, it'll contain about 3.5 servings per pouch. I don't know about you, but I can easily eat one of those smaller packages of beef jerky in just one sitting. That winds up being over 40 grams of protein for a very filling snack. A lot of people stop by places like 7-Eleven, Wawa, and Quick Check when they're hungry and when they want some kind of snack or small meal. And unfortunately, most of the time, most people will leave with something like chips, a pretzel, or a high-carb sub. So instead of doing that, grab a package of beef jerky. It'll taste great like the way a snack should taste, it'll keep you away from the high-fat and high-carb snacks, and it'll help satisfy your cravings while also increasing your protein intake for the day. Next, we have rotisserie chicken. If you go to the store and buy raw chicken, it's going to take you time to trim away the fat, cut it the way that you want, and of course cook it. If you're not that great at cooking, many times something like chicken breast can come out very dry and bland tasting as well. On the other hand, chicken that's been cooked in a rotisserie will typically be much juicier and more flavorful. There's also enough protein in just one rotisserie chicken to meet all your protein needs for the entire day. There are many times that I've gone on vacation and simply bought a rotisserie chicken to easily handle all my protein needs. Even with inflation, rotisserie chicken is one grocery store item that continues to stay relatively cheap, especially in comparison to other high protein products. It'll save you a ton of time in meal prep, and you can find it in almost any supermarket. If you're concerned about excess calories, you can remove the skin, as that will reduce the calorie count by quite a bit, since the skin can add anywhere from 3 to 4 times the amount of fat to your meal. Now, I'm not saying you can't eat the skin. All I'm saying is that the skin contains a lot of fat, and that fat contains calories. So if you're trying to watch your caloric intake, it might be helpful for you to remove the skin. Another very simple option that can be eaten on the go is deli meat. There was a time where the only options that you had with deli meats were heavily processed brands loaded with nitrates, nitrites, and artificial ingredients. Luckily, there are much better options nowadays, especially if you have a local Whole Foods supermarket right next to you. But even if you don't, many stores have started carrying brands of deli meat that are much less processed. Unfortunately, all deli meat still does have to contain certain ingredients to preserve it and keep it from going bad. But using vinegar and sea salt is much better than using nitrates with caramel coloring as preservatives. So if you can get to a Whole Foods, their 365 oven roasted turkey breast simply uses vinegar powder and sea salt as curing ingredients. Right on the front of the package, it clearly states that no nitrates or nitrites are added and that it's not even preserved. Although, like I said, truthfully, they are using ingredients that help preserve it, just more natural ingredients. Just 4 slices of this oven roasted turkey breast contains 12 grams of protein and less than 1 gram of carbs and 1 gram of fats. If you prefer ham, this brand also makes uncured ham. It has slightly less favorable macros, but still very, very good. It contains 11 grams of protein, 2 grams of fat, and 1 grams of carbs for every 4 slices. Now, even if you don't have a Whole Foods by you might be surprised at the options offered in the deli section of whatever your local supermarket is, if you just take a look. Specifically look for brands that are nitrate and nitrite free, using natural ingredients, ideally labeled as preservative free. These deli cuts can be used as a quick snack to add protein to your daily total if you're short on time or simply need the additional protein to hit your daily target. Now, if you don't like protein shakes, another option to easily add protein to your diet is to go with protein bars. But I will warn you, the vast majority of protein bars out there are loaded with fats and carbs. That's totally fine if you're trying to do a dirty bulk, but if you're trying to watch your calorie intake while upping your protein intake at the same time, you're going to want to go with the protein bar that's high in protein while still being low in overall calories. I've found that the brand Pure Protein Bars has some of the best macronutrient profiles out there. Their protein bars are almost entirely made up of protein with minimal sugars and fats. Quest also makes protein bars that are low in carbs and fats, but you have to check the nutrition label on each one because some of them are actually high in carbs and fats. In either case, these protein bars typically provide around 200 calories. And remember, just like the protein shakes, you don't want to overuse these as you won't get the other nutrients that come with whole foods. Another very quick protein source that can be used instead or along with the egg whites are hard-boiled eggs. Making hard-boiled eggs is very easy and can be done very quickly. You just put the eggs in water and boil them for about 5 minutes. Then you can bring those hard-boiled eggs pretty much anywhere with you and eat them even if you're in a rush. Just one large egg will contain about 6 grams of protein. This makes it easy to add 20 to 30 grams of protein to a meal that you can take with you absolutely anywhere. Most of the protein in the egg actually comes from the egg white portion, but the egg yolk also contains some protein along with a bunch of beneficial micronutrients, and there's no denying the yolk tastes good. Next is cottage cheese. Fat-free cottage cheese will contain anywhere from 13 to 15 grams of protein per half cup serving. Cottage cheese does of course have to stay refrigerated unlike some of the other options, but when you need that protein, it's right there ready for you. You don't have to prep anything, although some people do like to do things with their cottage cheese to make it tastier. For example, the cottage cheese can be used to make delicious tasting recipes like pancakes. Some people will also add some fruit to their cottage cheese like berries or pineapples. Just like with yogurt, which can be another option instead, I don't recommend that you get the variations that already have fruit mixed in, because simple sugars are added into those to make them taste better. Adding your own fruit instead will save you from adding unnecessary sugar into your diet. Finally, one last easy source of protein that you can eat without any meal prep is sardines. Sardines in water will contain about 13 grams of protein and 6 grams of fat. Sardines, like some of the other options, offer an easy way to get some additional protein into your diet. Unfortunately, 13 grams of protein from just one can won't give you as much protein as some of the other options, but 2 cans of sardines can provide you 26 grams of protein, which in itself can be used as a quick meal replacement if you don't have the prep time. Now, the big downside with sardines, and the reason why I saved them for last, is that when you open a can of sardines, everyone around you will know. Unlike flavored tuna packets, the sardines will have a much stronger fishy odor, so they won't be ideal for every single situation. Either way, I really hope that these quick protein options help give you some ideas on how to easily add over 100 grams of protein to your daily total. If you've enjoyed this video, or if you've learned something new, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Also, if you would like to set up the ideal plan for your body so that you can burn fat and build muscle in the shortest time frame possible without tons of trial and error, then visit my website and try my 6-week shred. With this program, you'll get a fully customized diet plan, a recipe book with over 42 mouth-watering meals, a full video exercise library, and a coach to guide you through your workout program and answer any questions that might come up. Best of all, we motivate you to follow through by offering you a full refund for simply putting your best foot forward and completing the program. So it's free for those of you that actually participate and simply try. We have thousands of 5-star reviews, so you can rest assured that people are meeting their goals and enjoying the process along the way. To find out more, you can click the link in the description below, or you can just head on straight over to my website at gravitytransformation.com. I'll see you guys soon. Pump it.